Hey everyone, hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to May. Hope you had a good weekend. So we've finished The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Looking over your answers from Thursday, looks like a lot of you guys were really surprised by what happened. Also, some of you didn't quite realize completely what happened. So if I didn't reply to you in your assignment, you're about to find out. But we learned that Aunt Helen molested Charlie, that she touched him inappropriately on Saturday nights when she would be watching the kids. So this is obviously terrible, and the reason why he had so many problems as a young kid, but he had repressed this memory, so never knew why. We know that this affected him all the way from when he was a kid until currently in the book. And this is devastating for him because this was the person he loved the most in the world, his favorite person. If you go back and reread this book, the stuff he says about Aunt Helen will read so much differently now because you will know this information. For example, when he talks about on Saturday nights how they would watch TV, but his brother and sister would be able to stay up later than him, and his Aunt Helen would take him up to bed when it was time for him to go to bed. And so now we know that, you know, this was happening when she took him up there, and his brother and sister were downstairs watching TV, and she was doing terrible things to Charlie, right? Charlie, by the end of the book, seems to sort of come to terms with this, and in a way forgives her. He knows that she was not mentally healthy at all. Of course, it doesn't make it okay, and he says that, but he says that he has a decision to make. He can either let this ruin his life, and he can use this as an excuse, or he can be different and he can survive this and move on. And that's what he chooses to do. He says that he won't do this to someone else. He tells an interesting story about an alcoholic and his two kids. This alcoholic dad had two boys. One boy became an alcoholic and said that that was what he learned growing up. The other one never drank and said that seeing his dad drunk was why. Also, do you remember what Charlie's dad said early in the book? He said, "Not everyone has a sob story, Charlie, and even if they do, it's no excuse." Aunt Helen clearly had a sob story, but it's no excuse. Charlie has a sob story too, but he's not going to use it as an excuse. So let's talk about some other stuff here. Charlie says that Sam puts other people's happiness ahead of his own. This is definitely true. Throughout the whole book, he does talk about his own happiness sometimes, but usually just when it's completely depleted, right? He's always more worried about if other people are happy. So this can be definitely dangerous, right? We never learn who the letters are to, and I think this is very intentional. A lot of you guys think that, the reason we never learn who the letters are to is because we're supposed to feel like they are to us. And I think that's definitely true. We're supposed to feel like Charlie is talking to us, like we're reading these letters. And though we wish that we could help him and reply to him, just knowing that he's telling us is helping him, right? He tells us in his last letter that if this is his last letter, then that means he's okay. So we have to believe him with this, right? There's a question in your assignment about tunnels. And the book ends with him going through the tunnel after this horrible time in the hospital, learning about Aunt Helen. And so tunnels in this book symbolize a sort of transformation. Every time he goes through one of these tunnels, he comes out differently. Much like people can go through things and come out of them differently as well. Early in the book, he was very scared, alone, sad. And as he's driving to the party with his friends, he realizes that he has friends and that his life is good and things are looking up. And so as he comes out of the tunnel and sees the light, he's transformed. That's true at the end of the book too. It's like driving through that tunnel. He leaves all of the terrible things with his Aunt Helen behind him. And he comes out of that tunnel a new person with a new life. We know the phrase, there's always light at the end of the tunnel, right? And so this tunnel that Charlie drove throughout the book served as a sort of transformation for him. So let me talk about a couple things coming up. We're not going to take a test over the book. What we are going to do, I am going to post an optional essay assignment. You do not have to write this essay. It is your choice. What this essay will do is replace the grade you got on your research essay. So let's say you didn't even do your research essay, and you do this Perks one, and you get a A. Well, the 0 from your research essay becomes an A. Let's say you did a research essay and you got an F. You do this Perks essay, you get a B. The F goes away, the B goes in. But let's say you did the research essay and you got a B. And you're like, I want to see if I can do better. And you write the Perks one, and this time you get a C. Well, the C goes in instead of the B. Okay, so if your grade is better or worse, I'll put the new one in. Now, some of you might think, Mr. East, that's not nice. You should give me the higher grade. Well, guys, if you already got a pretty good grade, you don't need to waste your time or mine writing an essay that's worse, right? So, you guys can decide if you want to do this one or not. But I know a lot of you guys have been looking for something to raise your grade, and this is definitely a big way that you can do that. Okay, so this assignment will be posted for you, and it will be due, I believe, I'm going to go with Monday, May 18th at midnight. So you guys will have 2 weeks to write this essay. It's a 2-page essay. You'll write about the book, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. You'll pick a topic like depression, suicide, bullying, abusive relationships, and you will research that topic and talk about how the topic you choose affects teenagers. And then you will talk about how the book, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, shows that topic as well, right? So how we see it affecting teenagers in the book and how we see it affecting teenagers in your research, okay? I will post that assignment for you. It's probably already posted when you're watching this video, okay? Your only assignment for Tuesday, and this is why this video is going a little long, your assignment today is super easy. There will be a question that says, respond to the question I ask in the video. This is the question. Are you going to do the Perks of Being a Wallflower essay? Yes or no? If you're unsure, you can put that, and then we can have a discussion as to whether I think you should do it or just roll with the grade you already got. So that is your only assignment today, is to say yes or no to that question. For the rest of the week, you'll only have one other assignment as well. You guys are going to be making a mixtape, just like Charlie did in the book. This is my favorite assignment that I do the whole year. We were actually about to do it right the week before spring break. We were going to do this assignment, and then we moved to remote learning, and I had to change my plans. But we're going to do it now. I will get that posted on Wednesday, but basically you're going to pick 10 songs that would go on your mixtape, and you have to explain why you picked each song, and you can't just say I like it, or I like the beat, or I like the lyrics. I want you to be more specific, more thoughtful, but I think you guys will have fun with it. Anyway, I don't want this video to get too much longer, but again, I should also say that mixtape assignment will go in the composition section of the grade book, so that is going to boost your grade too. Okay, and if you end up changing your mind about if you want to do the Perks essay once this mixtape grade goes in, then that's fine, right? but this mixtape should boost everyone's grade as long as you do it. Okay, so again, for Tuesday, all you have to do is reply to the question, yes, no, maybe, not sure, whatever is appropriate to you. For this one, you don't have to reply to someone else, obviously, and in fact, you're not even going to see anyone's reply. So to basically create a conversation between us, if that conversation needs to happen. Anyway, guys, take care. As always, email me if you have questions. Bye.